Welcome to the Essentials What the Blog video series. That's Isabella. And I'm Martin. Hi. Today we're going to talk about one of our 32 topics that we cover in our Essentials newsletters curated by the experts. So you get unfiltered, unbiased, and certainly without an editorial slant, a diversity of points of view that puts some of the greatest articles that are being sourced every single week at your fingertips in the newsletter. Not a bad way to catch up, not a bad way to make sure that you don't miss anything and that you start understanding and connecting with some of the sources that you may not normally have found because they're not the loudest, but they are sometimes the smartest. Isabella's a smart source. So we're going to talk about we all do. We're going to talk about the future of work today. And it feels like the pandemic has brought what was considered the future of work to the future of work is now.
Yeah.
So you got two articles for us. I'd love to hear about them.
Yeah. So the first one is common myths about burnout. So burnout is a word most of us have heard by now, but it's still kind of misunderstood. Like a lot of people think, oh, everyday work stress is burnout. Like, man, I was so burned out after that week.
Right.
But burnout is way different. And I think that there's a lot of myths surrounding it. So this article talks about three main myths. So the first one is that if you suffer from burnout, you're mentally weak or can't handle stress.
Of course. I think people are often maligned for this and seen as weak and stuff like that. So I'm anything that can help dispel these myths, I think, is great. What are the other two quickly?
So the other one is that if you just take a few days off, you'll be all right, which isn't really true.
Right.
The first one is that it's the individual problem and not the organization. So, companies need to start taking.
Oh, that's really interesting. But I often think that leadership and management are not always clued up enough about this, and that there's kind of some kind of machismo around, just stick it out, push through, take one for the team. And I think it can be exceptionally damaging to people. So it's a great article. I mean, I haven't read it, but I will read it. Whether our readers pick it or not, I will read it. What's the second article about?
Okay, the second one is about lessons on resilience from small and mid-sized businesses. So COVID basically exposed the stark differences between the fortunes of small and medium-sized businesses. So if you were a well-funded startup, you generally ended up a lot better off than cash-poor community businesses.
Right.
It depends on the industry, right? Like,
of course.
But in general, so in a certain study, it was estimated that across 32 countries, 70 to 80.
Hey, 32 countries, you got 32 newsletters. That's a good match.
That is definitely a coincidence. And 70 to 80% of small and mid-sized businesses experienced a drop of revenue that was 30 to 50%. So it's pretty substantial, and it's a lot of small to medium.
I mean, you have to consider that when your revenue drops, that depends also on what your margins are. I mean, if so, and I think that those are the businesses that were really trying to hang on to staff because they some of them might have been quite sort of labor intensive, and they in our communities. Those are the small businesses that make life easier, better, that build our communities that we see often. So another good article. Let us know what you think, and Isabella will be writing a blog that you do not want to miss.
Perfect. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.